Hi everyone, I'm here today with a project that is a storage unit for your markers, and that's what it is there, but it sits on its side like that so you can see and grab, and actually it sits to the left of me, left and front, so that I've got a couple of them, and these I made during our recent New Year's Eve streamathon, so they can stack on top of each other, go side by side, whatever you want. Now these are actually 6 inches wide by 5 inches high, and I'm going to make that one now, but I'm also going to make one that is 4 inches by 5 inches, so I'll have the dimension. Oh, nearly dropped the water. So I'll have the dimensions for those for you in a PDF in a link at the bottom of this video. So what we're going to do now, the reason I'm doing this is so that you can have a complete instruction without all the chatting from the live audience that was at the Ustream streamathon, New Year's Eve streamathon. So here we go. We've got a piece. We need two 12 by 12 sheets of lightweight, well, medium weight chipboard. Now I've cut that at 1 at 6 inches by 6 inches and 4 at 6 inches by 5 inches. You'll also need 2 pieces cut at 8 and 3/8 inches by 4 inches. 2 of those. Now we'll need probably about 4 sheets of double-sided paper, well, pattern paper. This is all single-sided, and really you do, like single-sided is fine. These are going to be used for inside the box, and we're going to put the box together with paper. So I'm going to cut these now and come back. Okay, so 2 pieces of the same patterned paper here. I've cut those just at 8 inches. 8 inches by the 12 inches. So 2 of those, and then the remaining 4 inches from each we're going to use as well. So 4 inch by 12 inch. So I just cut each piece at the 8 inch mark there on both. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to work with all of them at the moment. So I'm going to turn it over so the pattern side is down. So if you're working with double-sided paper, you'll need to have the pattern that you want showing to be face down. So what I'm going to do is butt those up together, and then we're going to place a strip of double-sided tape along that join there. We're just basically joining together to make a big sheet. Okay, so that's there like that. Now these other 2 pieces, I'm just going to centre along the sides. It doesn't matter, it can be rough because it's not all going to be used. So let's just join those now with just making sure I've got double-sided tape on both pieces of the paper. Okay, and the same to this one. Okay, now what you're also going to need is a glue stick. So now what we want to do is we want to remove the tape backing from that centre line there, and they'll stay together now. And we'll take the 6 by 6 inch piece of chipboard, and we're going to run some glue on one side of it. Okay, and then that's going to get stuck down smack centre vertically and horizontally there. So I'm just going to sit down there loosely for now, just leave it there like that. And I'm going to also take one of the 4 pieces of chipboard that's cut at 6 inches by 5 inches, and I want to position that up here. So I want it to sit on the edge there. Okay, you can see right at the top edge of that paper there. So then I can actually butt this one up against it. there like that. Okay, and now we're going to take the other one, and it's not going to sit right there, so let's move that up. It doesn't cover it completely, but covers it enough. There we go. Alright, let's put the glue on the back of the next piece. And stick it down. Okay, that's there. Now we're going to remove the tape backing from both sides here where we've joined them. And we're going to take another sheet of the 6 by 5 inch chipboard and glue it and set it down and line it up so that that 6 inch, those areas there line up. Now last piece, and it doesn't matter if your chipboard's not exactly glued down, it'll be fine. This came together in half an hour, the idea and putting it together, so it's easy. Alright, so that's gone down there. Now, what we're going to do now is take a craft knife and slice away all that paper. So all I'm going to do, I've got it on a cutting mat here, so I'm just going to go up the edge of all sides and slice along. Toss it. Alright, now we can turn that over, and that's our inside of our box. Now what I'm going to do here is fold these very carefully over and crease, so we line up the chipboard edge to edge there and press it down so that paper creases. So you see there that I've just pressed those two pieces down so they line up, and then you've got your crease in here. And so do that to all 4 sides. And you probably should wait till your glue's dried on the paper there, but I'm impatient. Okay. Okay, so we're almost done with that. Well, okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab some double-sided tape. I'm going to take one corner here. What I'm going to do is try and line it up and butt it like they're kissing, and then I'm just going to put some double-sided tape there. Now oops, paper's going flying off the fan. That's just to hold it in place for when I want to do the next step. So lining it up, having them kissing, and putting the tape there just to hold it in place so we can do all the others. So what I'm doing, so you can see there that there's a little gap, so what I'm trying to do is press that, we join those together so that there's no gap, and I'm also lining it up at the same time, all the edges. Okay. And I'm just sticking them together just away from the outside edge so that I can add, I can do the next step, and you'll understand why when I get to it. Okay, that's there. Now I'm going to take the double-sided tape again, and I'm going to start in the middle section of one of the sides down the bottom, up the top, it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to go right along the edge, go over the join there, right down the next edge, over that join there, over, and meeting up at the beginning there. And then we're going to do the same up here at the top edge there. So I'm going to join and kiss there in the corner, go around the edges of all four sides, joining those corners so that you can see no gaps. And meeting up where we started. Okay, so you can see now in there, in those corners, there are no gaps. So now, just to have it nice and snug, go back to the beginning. Okay, going in the center there, and I'm going to go all the way around the center. There we go, and I'm doing more, one either side. I'm going to run out of tape before I get there, so I'll be back with some more. Alright, so that's all done. It's all ready to have the paper attached. Now what the paper is here is just, this is 12 by 12 paper, so I'm just going to cut it in half at 6 inches. So you've got 2 pieces of those, and then you need another piece, if I could find it. Got it. I need another 2-inch piece of that, so I'm just going to cut a 2-inch strip of the second piece. Okay, and we'll use this later. So with the 6-inch strips, what we need to do is apply some double-sided tape to both of each short sides and one of the long sides, but we need to do the short sides first, and then the one long on both sheets. So we've burnished that. Now what we need to do is remove the tape backing from your box very carefully, as well as the temporary ones that we added at the beginning. Right, before we go any further, what I'm going to do is add some double-sided tape to all 4 edges of the bottom of this unit. Only because it's a lot easier to do it now than when we've got the paper on it. So, yeah. Don't forget, we must burnish well. Okay, so now we need to remove the tape backing from all 3 sides that we've applied it to. And now, at the top, we want to put the top, start the top on the opening edge up here. So what we can do is we can come in, and where we position the tape here in roughly the center where we started it and finished it, I'm just going to go over about 1/2 inch there, and I'm going to line it up with the top edge and really Okay, work it around those corners, and oops, being careful that it all lines up. Okay, and then we can burnish that onto it. Okay, as well as the corners. Alright, now where we finished that one, we can start with the second 12 by 6 piece that we applied the tape to, and again we started hearing it with the edge that has no tape on the top, and then butt it up against that where you just left off with the first strip. Go around the corner, making sure it all lines up, pulling it taut, and then around. There we go. Now you'll notice there we've got about a ½ inch bare. We haven't been able to cover it completely with those two sheets of paper. So what we're going to do there, that's what this other piece was for, the 2-inch strip. Just going to cut it down to 6 inches and then apply some double-sided tape to that. Again, we're just going to do it, we need to do it on all 4 sides with this one, because it's going to overlap the paper here where there's no tape. There's tape in the centre there, but none on the actual paper, so we need to put it. So I'm going to go short edges first and then the long edges. Burnish it, remove the tape backing and stick it on. Okay, so we'll, yeah, we can take all tape backing off this one, top, bottom and both sides. Alright, so then line it up at the top here, wherever, and stick it down. Alright, so now what we need to do is turn that on its edge, so you've got the bottom here and the top here, and we're going to remove the tape. Now we'll just upside down remove the tape backing first from the bottom of the box. Then we're going to turn it on its side, so we've got the opening here and the bottom here. And on the corners here, I'm just going to do a couple of tapered cuts there. So there's the corner of the box in there, right there. So I'm going over to the corner and cutting down both sides. Okay, you'll see there, there, yep. So then turn it over once, and then I'm going to do the same to the next side. So then what we've got here is we've got a little piece so that we can fold that over there, and there's no bulk in the corners. So let's continue that around. So roll it over once again, do a couple of slits in it, roll it over, and a couple of slits. Okay, so in essence then we've got those sections there, okay, which we're going to fold down first. But before we do that, we're going to take some, I've got Aleene's tacky glue, and where the bottom meets the sides, I'm just going to run a thin bead of glue in there just to give it more strength on all 4 sides. Okay, just a bit of glue in there. Right, so now what we can do is tie it up. Now, any corner first, just lightly pull it over and press it down. Do that to all 4 corner pieces. And there. And then we can start folding over all the other sides. Very carefully roll it over, press it down, burnish it. Okay. Do the opposite sides first. And then the other sides. Roll it over, press it down. And that one. And there we go. Alright, you can cover that or not, up to you. Now, you'll notice that we have raw edges here. I'm okay with that, but if you're not, what you could do is cut some paper, say about 1 inch or 1.5 inches, score it in the middle, and then put some glue on here, put some double-sided tape on all the edges, stick it down there like that and press it down. You can do that to all 4 sides. Okay, that way you have no raw edges, but I'm okay with raw edges. Okay, that done, we're now going to cover the 2, these are the cross pieces that are going to go inside here. So we're going to cover those now. Now, this extra piece that we cut that 2-inch strip off is what we're going to use to cover these 2 cross pieces. Okay, so whatever, so we're going to cut that down the middle at 6 inches. So you'll end up with 2 pieces that are 5 inches by 6 inches. Sorry, 10 inches by 6 inches. So 6 inches there. They should be exactly the same. So that was a 12 by 12. We cut a 2-inch strip off that edge, so that reduced it down to 10 inches by 6 inches. So what we're going to do is cover these now. So, oh, and I don't have any, okay. Right, we'll need an extra piece of paper. Alright, again, the same thing we did before. We're just going to put some glue stick on one side, just to secure it there, and center it roughly. Press it down, burnish it. Doesn't matter too much, we're going to cover that in a second. So what I do now is I always put the double-sided tape on the long ends first. I don't know why. And then I do the short ends when I'm covering a mini album cover or anything like that. So that's on the chipboard. We've placed the double-sided tape all around the perimeter there. So again, we'll just do right on the outer edge of that paper, and I just come up to along the length of the chipboard, because the corners are going to be chopped off anyway. So okay, so I'm just going to place this underneath the heavy object now after I burnish it, so that that paper can glue to that chipboard while I'm doing the other one, covering the other one. Alright. So now what we're going to do to this is we're just going to cut that, all those corners off, and leaving approximately just under 1/8 of an inch, Probably just a little over the thickness of the chipboard there, just like you would cover a mini album, just to hide the corner edges there. So that's it. Now, just going to get these creases started. And so what I do, because I put the double-sided tape on the long sides first, I do those first. So one, and two sides, and I'm going to take the tape backing off the rest. Okay, now before I press those down, what I'm going to do is bring those little excess bits, see there, there's just a tiny little bit excess there, which what I'm doing is shoving it in and over, covering that corner there, so that when you fold it over, all your raw edges are covered. Okay, now that's the piece I haven't got out any paper for, so I think that's about 3 inches by 7 1/4 is what you'll need for that one. Yeah, 7 1/4 by 3 inches will get you, you'll need 2 pieces of that paper to cover that little section. We didn't have quite enough with the two 12 by 12 sheets. So I'm just using a, this is the Kaisercraft Oh Boy paper pad for this, so I'm just going to use another green. It's a different design, but that's okay. So we need it 7 1/4 by 3 inches, so I'm just going to cut the 7 1/4 inch piece first, and then cut 2 3-inch pieces. And then we're ready to put the tape backing on it and stick it down. Alright, these pieces are going to sit in here. But what we need to do first is put a slit in each of them so they can cross join together. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them side by side, button them up there like that. I'm going to grab my see-through ruler, my 10-holes ruler, and I'm going to center it and just grab a marker and mark the center section there on both of them. Okay, so you can see that I have done that with the pen. Right there and there. Okay, so I need to go down 2 inches, so I'm going to measure from there using my ruler as a guide. That's about there. Okay, just put a mark there, and then here, go down 2 inches, about there. Rough enough's good enough. Now, grab a craft knife. Now, make sure you've got a very sharp blade. Change it so that you've that just doesn't look right to me where that is. So hold on, about there. Yeah, I'm going to start about there. And just cut that right through from that 2-inch section down, and then do the same to the other side. Just about a 6, well, the thickness of your chipboard it needs to be, because it's got, the other piece has got to go inside it. It's got to slip down into it, so I just want to get rid of that little one. Oh, that wasn't very good, Jen. I ripped that instead of cutting it. Silly, silly girl. We're not going to see it anyway. Too much. Okay, one down. What we could do is just do this. Line them up, put it down, and then cut through. That way. And that's close enough. I should be able to remove that now. Okay. That's a bit better, that one. Alright, so we'll test them out. Okay, they just slip over each other like that. And then, now you know that you've got, oh, they're all the same. Okay, so that's got to go in there like that. And it's probably best to put one in first and then put the other one over the top of it. Like that. And voila, it's done. Okay? Done. You can have it any which way you like. That's it. Marker storage don't mean you can take another piece and cover the bottom if you want. So that's 1, 2 and 3. They are strong enough, especially with the markers in them, to be stacked on top of one another. Let me just stacked on top there. Alright, so if you wanted them smaller, I'm going to create another one that is slightly smaller, an inch smaller, and then I'll probably do a cube, a 4x4 one as well, so a 4x4 and a 4x5, so depending on what sort of room you've got to work with. So I'll put all the dimensions and a brief description of what to do and what you need, all that, and link it below. So there you go, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.